Welcome back, beautiful souls, to the Tarot Talk Show podcast. I'm your host, George Dus, and I'm so glad you're here for episode 8. Last time in episode 7, we explored one of the most emotionally charged areas of tarot, relationship readings. We looked at how easily hope and projection can color the cards, and why compassion and boundaries are essential when someone else's heart is on the table. That episode reminded us that tarot isn't about telling people what they want to hear. It's about helping them recognize what their soul already knows. Today we're exploring something that sits at the crossroads of magic and method. The mysterious place where intuition meets energy and tarot becomes an act of alchemy. If you ever wondered what it really means to blend tarot with healing, not just for insight, but for transformation, this conversation is for you. My guest today is Andie Ruddy, a reader and a teacher with more than 20 years of experience, and the founder of Realm of Alchemy, a space she created for tarot, energy healing, and what she beautifully calls quantum metaphysics. Andie doesn't just read cards. She teaches people how to read intuitively. She works with Reiki, animal healing, pendulums, tuning forks, and psychic protection. Her approach bridges both mystical and the practical, helping clients and students alike navigate life through energy, intuition, and deep personal awareness. I joined Andie for this conversation at her booth inside the Niagara Flea Market in St. Catharines, Ontario, where she offers in-person readings every Sunday. You'll hear plenty of background noise in this one. The market was busy that day, but it's all part of the setting where she connects with people and energy in real time. So settle in, take a deep breath, and exhale. And maybe keep your deck nearby, because this one is going to be equal parts of conversation and collaboration. So let's dive into the alchemy of energy and intuition with Andie Ruddy of Realm of Alchemy. Andie, it's such a pleasure to finally have you here. For listeners who haven't met you yet, Realm of Alchemy isn't just a name, it's a full energetic experience. How are you feeling as we start our conversation today? And what's been inspiring you most in our work lately? And then I apologize for the listeners. We are actually sitting in her booth at the Niagara Flea Market, so it's a little bit noisy here. But anyways, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been excited for this for a while. This is great.
Oh, good. Well, yeah, so Andie and I have kind of met. She met me at a psychic fair, and she's doing her own little fairs. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. Yeah, it's great to be here, and you're like my second guest. Your site talks about guiding souls through transformation. The word alchemy really stood out to me. For you, what was the first moment of transformation that pulled you into this path?
So I have used herbs ever since I was a kid out of fear of doctors and just not wanting to deal with them. So I did everything I could naturally that I could. So that sort of was the transformation that sort of started me on my journey. Trying to heal myself.
Oh, okay.
As much as I could. And I sort of got into tarot because I've always spoken with my guides, and they have been great, but there has always been that voice in my head. So the tarot just clarified everything for me. And I use that as sort of confirmation.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So no Western medicine, pills, or anything like that, do you think?
Well, I mean, Taoism is near and dear to my heart. Actually, it was one of my first boyfriend actually accused me of being a Taoist. And I said, I have no idea what that is.
Me.
And that, okay, well, it angered him to no extent because basically one of the key philosophies of Taoism is that they resist being labeled. The quote is, anything that is the true Tao cannot be expressed as that. As soon as you label something, you limit it. And it ceased to be able to exist, be everything. And now it's only what you've called it.
Right.
So, and it's sort of that nothingness and everything, and this has bits of Buddhism and stuff like that mixed, like not mixed in because they're separate, but like it has that feel and that vibe to it.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of our listeners are going to resonate with that because, a lot of people are into healing and...
The Tao of Pooh is my transformational book.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Well, no. The Tao of Pooh is by Benjamin Hoff.
Okay.
And it is Winnie the Pooh explaining Taoism.
Oh.
And it's phenomenal. It is such a great book. I've purchased it 7 times because I keep lending it out and nobody ever gives it back.
Oh, okay. Okay. Was there a reading or a teacher or maybe a life moment when everything clicked and you thought, this is what I'm meant to do?
So I went to a psychic fair in Hamilton, actually, and Tasheen Wolf, I don't know if you know her, she's passed now, but she was sitting at a table and I knew that she was somebody I needed to talk to. And and the reading that she gave me, she said, she goes, look, this isn't how I normally give readings, and I'm going to tell you things that I normally don't tell people. She goes, you're going to be sitting here and doing what I'm doing soon. And I was like, what? And she's like, trust me, you'll be doing this. And she introduced me to her business partners, and they were my Reiki masters. They turned out to be my Reiki masters. And but Tasheen taught healing. Everybody's a natural healer, and she had classes on doing that. So, and she had developed her own modality, and she's got a book out. But so she really set me on my journey in the early years.
Cool. Yeah, everybody kind of like they meet somebody at a fair or whatever, and you're going, hey, because a lot of people have that feeling, they get that vibe, and going, you have a lot of capabilities or abilities and stuff like that, so you should go for it. So the name Realm of Alchemy feels intentional, mystical, but also practical. Like there's real work happening here. What does the word alchemy mean in your practice?
So the process of alchemy, when you look back on it historically, is turning lead to gold.
Right.
But it's sort of metaphor for the inner work that you do on yourself. It is taking who you are and transferring it and getting closer to the divine. So the more you get rid of the stuff that doesn't work, the negative aspects of your life and things that are going on, and the more and changing it into more positive, closer to divinity. So that's what I do.
I always tell people who are, kind of in that negative energy hey, that's a new word. It's more a better word. Alchemy, get rid of the old stuff and bring in the new stuff. So
it's getting rid of the negative, and the whole process of alchemy is like, in the chemical sense, is boiling, purifying, like getting rid of all the sludge in a metal or a substance, getting rid of all the impurities and being left with only the pure. Gotcha. So that's, So
I guess that's where the witches have that burning bowl. Like you write down all your negative stuff and then put it in a bowl and then light it on fire. Usually, normally on a full moon, that you should be doing that. But
Halloween works.
Yeah, Halloween. Well, definitely Halloween. So. Interesting. How do you see that ancient concept showing up in modern energy healing space?
Well, I use it like personal transformation. Carl Jung is a huge component of all of this with the archetypes and everything, but it is the essence of healing and coming back to oneness is, getting rid of all the impurities, all the stuff that we bring with us, all the extra baggage, and just leaving it behind because we don't need it, and just focus on bringing us more into a state of purity. And I believe the ancient alchemists were doing that. I think their Hermetic texts speak of alchemy and the purification process.
Okay.
So that's, and I don't think it's changed at all because we're still the same humans as we were,
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, like we're still doing the same thing from ancient times.
Right? Our lives are still, we still have our good days and bad days, and, no matter where we are on our path, that always happens. There's always room for growth, right?
Yeah. I mean, people say, when they're awakened and stuff like that, and, people kind of, the layman person actually says, they're awakened, so they're always peaceful and never angry. And I'm going, no, we get our moments too.
Oh,
so.
Absolutely. We just get rid of those, like the residual effects from those.
No,
But
exactly.
we certainly got to experience them. Yeah.
We're just more aware of what's going on, and we're in touch with our emotions, I guess. So.
Yeah.
You offer tarot as one of the several modalities. When you're sitting with a client, how do you decide whether to reach for the cards, a pendulum, or tuning forks?
So I have a master pendulum, and this runs my sessions. The master pendulum, this one actually, it connects to the angelic realm. The angelic realm is something that I've always worked with, and I have a very easy time connecting. So it is the angelic realm that I connect with. It starts me off on which direction to go. I use it to clear all my decks and to connect with my client, but I also choose which deck, whether they need a deck at all, or whether they need the tuning forks, or whether they need a different pendulum healing, or what goes next in the reading. And all of a sudden, when I'm doing a reading, the cards won't shuffle very nicely for me. And that's when that's my signal that I need to change something. So I grab my pendulum and find what it is that needs to be changed and what it needs to be done. Sometimes they need an energy clearing to go on. Sometimes it's just a different message from a different deck.
Right.
So I never know what's going to happen. When somebody sits in front of me, it's always new.
Yeah, exactly. I never, when people come for readings for me, I had some unexpected revelations from people, I guess, from my sitters. I was like, okay.
Right? I've had many people sit down for a reading and wind up doing energy clearing and energy work on them and nothing but, because that is actually what they needed. Sometimes it's a shock to my clients what they needed too.
Oh, yeah.
But once it happens, they're like, oh yeah, that was entirely different but so needed.
I don't know if listeners heard that, but there was what is it? The train whistle, train whistle cone.
Yes.
It was a spirit actually telling you, reinforcing what you're doing.
That's so cool.
So hopefully that picks up.
I love our market.
It's a kind of a vibrant market.
It is.
Definitely check it out. It's in St. Catharines. We're at 46 Turner Crescent, right? So, and it's huge. It'll take you half a day just to go through the thing. So
and it's magical. It is fun.
Anyways, we're talking about tarot and stuff like that, but is it intuitive in the moment, or do you sense ahead of time what kind of energy they need? I think you touched a little bit about it.
Yeah, a little bit. Most of it is just intuitive in the moment. Sometimes somebody will sit down, though, with something that I can't ignore. Normally it's an attachment or something that needs to be removed that has to happen.
Right.
And if I ask them about that, they generally can tell me a story.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right.
But normally everything's through the pendulum.
Oh, okay. Speaking of pendulum, I noticed you incorporate pendulums and tuning fork frequencies, tools people may not realize can be part of a reading. Could you paint a picture for listeners of what's happening energetically when they're using sound or movement to clear or confirm something?
Yeah, sure. It's radiosthetics that is at play when you use the tuning forks in particular. It's sort of like when you're in a room, and if you've got 3 guitars in a room and you pluck the C string in one of them, the other 2 guitars, the C string will vibrate in resonance. Oh. And so the tuning forks work the same on your body. I use the solfeggio frequencies, and the pendulum guides me to which ones are needed for that individual. But when you strike the note from the tuning fork, it'll bring your body into resonance.
Oh, okay.
So so it's very cool.
Yeah, very cool. Every reader has a style. Some go purely intuitive, others lean on spreads or structure. What's your personal rhythm when cards hit the table?
So I only read jumpers. I am 100% intuitive. I don't like structure.
Oh, okay. Some of us don't.
No, it's funny. It's always an adventure with me. Never know what to expect or how many cards you're going to get. Sometimes it's a mitt full because I just, I let the cards speak and tell a story.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Oh, perfect. Do you prefer a specific spread, or do you let the session unfold organically?
So I let it unfold organically. If I do need to put cards down in any specific position, it's just sort of a pro one and a con one pile type thing, and read from there. But I always I just really don't do spreads very well. Like I know them and I can, but I just find them limiting.
Oh, okay.
So that's the cards to me speak for themselves, and when I throw them into a position where they have to mean something, that it just changes the way I read. Yeah, so I'm the chaos reader that will have 20 cards on the table, but we'll get there. And they'll be all piled up all over the place, but it's the story that gets told.
Right. Yeah. It's a narrative. I've kind of referred to some people. I said, I lay down the cards. I'm the one who's kind of interpreting what the cards are for you.
Yeah.
And if it resonates, great. But
yeah. So many people and they do really great with the spreads, and they love the spreads. It's not who I am. Yeah, because there's a lot of meaning with it, but yeah. And I know the meaning to the cards, and I've studied tarot quite a bit, quite in depth. Sometimes it's the image on the card and it has nothing, and sometimes the angelic realm will put messages in my head that have nothing to do with the card, and that's what I have to go with, because that's what I'm being guided to say. Right. And it's generally quite profound for the person when I allow those messages to come through. But yeah, so sometimes they might give you a reading that's totally not, if you're, so I have clients will sit there and they've read tarot and I'm giving them total opposite meaning, and so I'll explain to them, like, look, this is just what I'm being guided to say. It's not traditional, but it's your message.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what counts, right?
So I imagine a lot of new clients walk in a bit nervous. Be curious but cautious about what tarot and energy healing really is. What do you wish more first-timers understand before their first session with you?
That it's nothing scary, that I'm here to help and help guide their paths. So even if scary cards come up, it's not something that they can't avoid usually. Normally the cards are sitting here to tell you that, hey, this energy is coming up, but there are solutions to avoid this if you want. And I always try to give them options. If something, one of the scarier cards come up, I always try to say, well, okay, you've got some transformation happening, you've got something going on, but this is the way to deal with it. This is the best plan of action, on how to avoid it. So it's not really scary, it's more empowering.
Oh, okay. That's what I tell people. Yeah. More, I'm here to empower you. Nothing scary and stuff like that. So.
Right.
You mentioned that your goal is to help people move from confusion to clarity.
Yes.
Could you share a moment, maybe a session or a workshop, where you witnessed that alchemy happen right in front of you?
Yeah, well, I had a client that called me because he was having a hard time with the relationship with his mom. And I said, okay, well, let's work together and we'll see what we can, help out. And I brought the pendulums and the my tuning forks and my cards, and we got into our session, and he felt really good at the end of the session. But I did a lot of healing work on him. He thanked me and I left. And 2 weeks later, he called me back up and he said, you're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you. And I said, okay. And I was thinking, oh, I hope everything's okay. And he's like, well, I'm calling you because I just realized today for the first time, he says, my mom and I are getting along great. And it's been super. Ever since you left, it's been amazing. He said, but I'm calling you today because I wanted to buy like a motorcycle or something. I forget what it was, but there's something that he'd been saving up for. And he goes, all of a sudden I had all this money and I couldn't figure out where it was all coming from. He says, I haven't done drugs since our session. Oh, wow. And I was like, oh my goodness. And he's like, I've never even thought of it. There was no, the healing was what needed to take place for the relationship for the parents, right? For the mother to take place. So even though it had nothing that we did intentionally, it was nothing that we even thought about in the session, but it's what spirit knew needed to be done, and as spirit worked through the session. So 2 weeks and he was totally clean.
So how do you feel about that?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah. I was like, oh, that is so cool.
I'm good.
But it's not me.
No, I know it's not you. But,
And I've had I've seen miracles with animals. Same thing. I've had this one client, oh my goodness, he called me because his dog was going in for an operation on its back. And he called me and asked me if I'd do Reiki just to try and keep the dog comfortable. And this was Friday, so the operation was Monday. So if I could help the dog for that, and I said, okay, I'll see what I can do. And I told him, I was like, don't cancel your vet appointment or don't do anything like that, but whatever. And I sat with the dog, and I kid you not, the dog sat with me for 5 minutes, looked up at me and left.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, okay. Like, I did my thing, but I don't know what that thing was.
Yeah.
So and he was spiritual, and he's like, okay, no problem. It is what it is. And the dog took what he needed. And the next morning, there was a phone call, and he was crying. And I went, oh, God, the dog died. Oh, no. And he's like, no, you don't understand. He said for the first time in 6 months, the dog had the leash in his mouth and was wanting to go for a walk at the back door when he got up. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that was 5 minutes. That's just spirit working through and doing, so there's certainly animal miracles. There's certainly people miracles, but I like the animal ones because that can't be placebo.
Oh, okay.
And because that's just, you can't argue with it.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, and the fellow who was sober for 2 weeks, and we had no idea that he was. Like, he just wasn't missing the drugs. He wasn't.
Oh, wow.
Right? So they're just kind of really cool confirmation that spirit works in incredible ways.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, no, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So we touched a little bit about the dog. So do you do a lot of healing with animals?
I do. Animals was so the first 25 years of my life, 30 years of my life, I worked with animals, with horses and dogs. So it's just, it's a very comfortable, natural place for me to work. I was a professional dog trainer. I worked at a doggy daycare. I was a riding instructor. So I did, all sorts of animal works. And I teach animal Reiki. That's one that I do. Yeah. Well, it's not animal Reiki, it's animal healing. But unless you're a Reiki practitioner, then it's animal Reiki.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my dog Shadow got a little bit of Layla's thing when we had the fair together. So here and
Layla's amazing.
She was like, Shadow was like, okay, whatever. But yeah, she's very energetic. It was her back leg or whatever.
Yeah, Layla's phenomenal.
Yeah. Tarot and energy work often bring up emotions people don't expect. When someone's in tears or processing something deep, how do you stay grounded while it's still letting them feel what they need to feel?
So I have a very strange ability of being able to detach. So it's not really grounding. I'm very able to let them experience the situation at how they need to and hold space for them while it goes, and let it be like, let them know they're in a safe space and they can feel what they want. But I don't, because I can detach, I can sit there and cry with them sometimes, but it doesn't stay with me.
Oh, okay. That's the important thing, right?
Even though their stories might, like, I've heard some horrific stories that I can retell and still the emotions will come up, but they're not, they just
compartmentalize. That's it. There you go. Compartmentalize. Okay, you go.
That was a word today.
Tongue twister.
Yes, but it lets me file them away.
By the way, we're all tired because the Jays game was really light, and they lost the World Series, and we had to put up with a time change today because we're recording this in November 1st, so or November 2nd.
Second, yes.
I always have a box of Kleenex. The first training I did, somebody would just include complete tears, and I was totally unprepared for it, and I'm like going to some other table to get some tissue. Yeah. Now I have tissue at my table.
I've got tissue actually. As I say, there is tissue around. It's just currently I can't see it, but it does, because it does happen, and especially when we're at the flea, I always sort of they don't feel too bad because there's people around. So I always try to, we've got some tissues, and I never leave people in that state. If they're they're feeling uncomfortable there, I'll always pull the next card. I'll always give them that next bit of hope. Where, okay, this might be happening, and this is really tough, and I get that. Here's where you need to focus. Here's where this is what's going to pull you through this. So I don't want them leaving feeling, that hopeless or upset or anything like that. I always want them, as I said, empowered, as we were saying earlier. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's trying to hold space for them and just be present with them.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both empaths, so and most readers are too, and it's kind of hard. But what you touched upon is that you can actually step back from it.
Yes,
afterwards.
It's not mine.
Yeah. So, and because we can easily attach to other people's energy and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. I also use a fair amount of protection, and that helps too. My guides step in and help too if if I'm absorbing too much.
Okay.
They will, give me a nudge to hey. Yeah.
So, is there any kind of practice that you do in case you do get kind of overwhelmed and it's not working from detaching?
Well, so in this space, I have set up quantum wells. So that's part of my quantum metaphysical practice that I do, and the quantum wells actually siphon negativity. So they really help. They help the client and they help myself as well, so that it's all being sucked into a well for the angels to deal with and transform at a later date.
Oh, okay.
So the angelic realm, comes in and clears them out. So the negativities, it doesn't stay with my client either.
Oh, okay.
Right? It helps. They help a lot.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, the sitter is kind of appreciative that they had that moment and then, not saying that life goes on. I mean, those thoughts going to linger from
but they can walk away from here and not feel like everybody's going to see that they cried.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's kind of open. People come and go through it, but
yeah.
You also teach about energy sensitivity and psychic protection, which we were just alluding to. Topics that go beyond just the mind. How do you help clients reconnect with their body signals as part of your as part of the spiritual healing?
So I do it's all very intuitive. Like I will help somebody learn to ground if they're feeling like the effects, especially like when I do healing work on people, I definitely have to have them ground again. But it is all very intuitive, and like my client who wound up breaking an addiction, neither one of us had any clue that it was going on.
Okay.
Neither one of us were conscious of that actually happening. The intent was to give him a better relationship with his mom.
Oh,
and
okay.
then and the spirit sort of takes over. So I really get out of the way of everything and allow it to happen. And my clients I always encourage them to just relax and have things going on. And again, I'm there to help them ground, whether through meditation, grab a crystal, a scent, whatever it is that we have to do to bring them back into. And I'll use the tuning forks for that too. The lower notes on the tuning forks will help ground. So if you're in a session with me and you're because feeling lightheaded, feeling dizzy, I'll go back into the grounding. And some of my guides will also help bring everybody back into balance.
Oh, okay.
Before, because that's a big thing. But again, I'm out of the way of that.
Right. So do you do like a little bit of mini kind of meditation settings to kind of help them ground?
Yeah, I'll get them to envision them being a tree and their roots stretching to the earth.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's the I mean, that's the go-to, I think, for most of because it's amazing and it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then sometimes, as I say, when it's beyond that, holding a crystal, drinking some water, just getting back in touch with your senses again is a good thing.
So you touched upon drinking water. I'm very bad at it, but do you tell your clients, hey, after an energy healing, you need to drink a lot of water because you're kind of flushing all that stuff out of your bodies?
Yeah, well, so I flush for my clients a lot when I do the healing session. They're part of the process that I do in the healing is a flushing of their system and of their aura and all of that. So I do tell them to stay hydrated, but to listen to their body and tell them to be. Most of them are pretty exhausted and tired by the end of it because I move a lot of energy around.
Yeah.
So they. I tell them if they need to nap. Try not to have too much going on.
Yeah.
So water is certainly a part of it, but it just depends. I just honor their body, and if they feel that they need to drink, absolutely. But if they don't feel the need, just because I'm like you, I don't always need water. It's just one of the and sometimes water's upsets my stomach. It's after healing too. Just it hits it hard in my stomach. So I'm the weird girl that happens to. So it just depends on the person. I let them. I tell them that whatever they're feeling, go for it. Look after themselves and nurture themselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for the next little bit after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. I saw that you share a booth with the Fairy Realm at the Niagara Flea Market. I love that the image of two magical spaces side by side. What has community meant for your growth as a reader and a healer?
So I've been fortunate, and I've always been surrounded by like incredible friends that happen to be metaphysical as well. So we're here to support each other, lift each other up, and help each other on our journeys. So it's nice. Like if I need a day off, she's here to help me and support me. And if somebody's looking for a reading, she always promotes my business and helps me out. I sell her crystals and her candles that she makes. We lift each other up and we help each other and we teach each other. She taught me some incredible healing way back when, and I've shared with the new modalities that I channel through. So we've been always helping each other and lifting each other up and educating each other through the whole thing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What other things do you have, Andie, on the go?
What Layla and Cynthia and I had been talking about doing is because we wanted to get into doing podcasts and stuff, but we thought like how great at fair if we could like walk up and put all of our vendors that wanted to be in the podcast. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like just regular vendors here?
No, like when we did the event outside to like yes, our vendors in here. We've got several really cool metaphysical vendors.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it'd just be fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's my new business.
You should be doing that. Why don't you come in here and do? You know how many vendors would kill to have some time, and metaphysical ones that would really love to have some time in here.
Yeah.
Because we've got Cynthia, my business partner. We've got Layla. We've got Roberta. She's a force in the community. I don't know if you must know Roberta.
Oh yeah.
Lloyd, of course.
I met her one time.
Everybody knows Roberta. Yeah. And.
I just was disappointed that she closed her shop.
I know, but she's open here.
Yeah.
And then we have Laura, the junk gypsy here. And then we've got a few other vendors that are metaphysical, but they don't maybe sell metaphysical things here.
Oh, okay. They're kind of hiding behind the shadows.
Yeah. So we have a few.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're sort of, when we get together, it's sort of like herding cats.
Oh, okay.
We're sort of all over the place. We have way too much fun. We start talking business, and before you know it, we're down another rabbit hole.
Doing people's hair.
Yeah, we're doing people's hair. We're doing things like, we're not really great at focusing. But we do know that we all want to join a business together, and that is something that we all are like. No. We want a magic school. We want a cafe, but with a cafe, and we want to do podcasts or something. We've got a lot of plans. We get things to a certain level, and then everything. We've got a website.
Okay.
We do, but we're getting there. Like it's still a work in progress. We're trying.
So, Andie, many practitioners forget that maintaining our own energy is half the job. What are some rituals or habits that keep you clear between sessions, whether that's grounding, prayer, or just stepping outside?
So again, I'm fortunate with my business partners. They certainly keep us, like, we all keep each other clear, and anytime we have something going on, we all help each other point out the steps that need, like the healing that needs to be done. I every night meditate with my guides, chat with them and check in with them. So that mainly meditation, and I clear. I've got the quantum wells set up, so they do siphon and they do a lot of healing for me. Especially coming from the flea, where you can pick up a lot of negative energies. So that they siphon a lot out.
Oh. Okay.
But my guides tend to really be heavily involved in keeping me clean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, like on Sundays, because you're only here at the flea market on Sundays.
Yeah.
I know when I'm at fairs, I'm completely drained the next day, right? And somebody actually suggested, hey, take a long shower and kind of let all that energy,
Yeah.
out of your system and stuff like that. And showering and this, like, letting kind of imagine all that energy that from other people and what's going around at the fair, just let it all wash away and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, because I'm able to detach, that just from client to client, that just happens.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't carry. I'm very fortunate. I don't carry anything with me. Yeah, I'm that girl.
You're lucky.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you described your work as where science meets spirit, a phrase that really caught my eye. How do you personally bridge these two worlds when explaining energy work to someone who's more skeptical?
All right, so I do love skeptics when they come in because then I get to talk about my quantum metaphysics.
Okay.
And that's great. So I use quantum metaphysics in all that I do. So when I connect my energies to my clients when they sit in, I use entanglement theory to connect their energy to my energy, so that even if I'm distracted and I can be pulled away to do something, our connection never breaks. So I can just slide right back into the reading. It's real simple.
Okay.
So the quantum entanglement works. I use the quantum wells, again, it's through sacred geometry and all of that. I can siphon the negativity, so many different things through the quantum physics. And everything is energy. And there isn't anything that isn't energy. So there's no reason why entanglement isn't going to connect us psychically. It's
Right.
just being in tune with the frequency, because it is all energy, and frequency is everything.
Right.
So, and it's just that's the basis of my healing practice and my tarot, is tuning into those frequencies.
Oh, okay.
So science isn't 1,000% there in doing it yet, but it's really close.
Oh, okay.
Getting closer and closer all the time.
So the skeptic that you're trying to explain this to, you, do they get blown away? Have you changed their mind in some way?
A lot of them will sit down after I sort of go through that with them. Will sit down for a reading with me and then prove it, and normally then they're blown away.
Yeah.
I have some that once I start down the quantum metaphysics road, just walk away.
Yeah.
Like, oh, come on.
Like,
yeah.
Over my head. I'm sorry. Like way too much for me.
So you get a few, well, because this is a flea. So some people think they're going to be smart and chaya, and they're the ones that walk away.
Yeah.
Some people are like, okay, you've intrigued me. Show me what you do.
Right.
And that's always fun.
Oh, okay.
And it's because they come back for more readings and they bring their friends, and they tend to, because I don't understand you, but let's do this again.
Some of the best readings I've had is like somebody coming up to my table and like, oh, I don't know about this thing, blah 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 blah, and they kind of walk around. I mean, it was a one fair. I'll always remember there was a guy for 2 hours. He kept on going around, and he kept on going to my table, and asking me this question, a certain question, just clarification on tarot and what it's all about. And it was like, and then he'd walk around and he asked more questions. And then when he finally sat down, it's like I totally blew him away with the reading, because that was his first reading. And he says, "How do you know this stuff?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm just
just a messenger.
Just a messenger. I'm a vessel and stuff like that." But yeah, he was totally happy, and those are the kind of the best readings where, not that I'm just trying, we're trying to prove ourselves right or anything. It's just, hey, we help somebody.
I know, it feels good to help somebody.
No.
But it's nice because it's just, it is. It's just science. It's just energy. It's just the connection, and it's there. And I always tell them anybody can do it. Like, it's nothing special. I had somebody walk by my booth and say, "Oh, so you think you're special?" And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Well, you're a tarot reader. You think you know everything." I said, "No, not at all." I said, everybody can read tarot. Anybody can learn to do anything. I said, it's just energy. I connect with it. I said, like, anybody can run. Some people, though, have trained to run and do it much better. Some people are gifted runners and wind up in the Olympics. I just have trained to do tarot. So there's no different. You can do it. Like, there's no reason why. He just looked at me. He's like, and he sat down for a reading.
So that brings up a question that I have. So when I'm talking to other readers and mediums and stuff like that, So they tell me like, hey, they were kind of born into it. You know, they saw like spirit or ghosts and stuff like that when they were really young. Some people are late kind of bloomers,
Yeah.
like me. You know, where I I knew something was up, but I never really paid attention to it. So, what was your? Did you kind of grow up with it, or was it kind of like a learning process, or something that just kind of fell? I guess the perfect word is kind of fell on your lap at one moment, and
Yeah.
then everything exploded from there. So,
So my parents, my dad was born from a very Roman Catholic family, and my mother a very Anglican family. So they were sort of very linear in their thinking. But as a child, and I was adopted, so I have no real, like, they never baptized me, so I could choose my own religion when I wanted to. So I've had, which is why I went down the Taoist road and all of that.
Yeah.
But when I was young, and I felt, I our candy guy. So 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 but yeah, so when I was a kid, I always used a specific stuffed animal. I always liked all my stuffed animals, but there would be one in specific that would tell me advice and would explain things to me, and would I would tell all my problems to, and it would make things better, and it would give me profound advice sometimes. Like I remember being shocked when I was a kid because it was prophetic and it would come true. So, and it wasn't all the time that I would talk to the stuffed animal that happened, but frequently I would get weird stuff, and I never knew that this wasn't normal.
Okay.
But I also never told my parents I did it because I knew they'd think it was weird.
Especially, you know, Catholic, you know.
This is just it, right?
Yeah.
This is way too much for them to have to deal with. And they still, so I will say a month ago, one of my aunts outed me to my parents because they still don't know. And she came to visit, and she had found out somehow, and I don't know how she found out because I keep it hush hush. And she found out, and she came to visit my parents' house, and she's like, "I want a tarot reading," and I was like, so apparently my aunt explained to my parents what I did, and apparently they were relieved because they thought I was into something really awful, and they wouldn't elaborate on what.
Like cult stuff.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't know what they thought I was into. So apparently they were relieved. But so I gave her a reading in another room, and she left, and they have never spoken a word of it since.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just leaving it. They're in their 80s.
Yeah.
There's no need for them to understand any of this or know any of this if they don't want to. So you just.
So I'm curious. So now that your parents know that you do a reading, how do you feel? Do you feel like kind of relieved, or?
No? I wish I could throw that one back in.
Oh, okay.
Just
leave it the way it was.
Just leave it the way it was. They never needed to know. I'm glad that they put their mind at ease. They just can't comprehend. And clearly don't. Like, I did steeped tea. I'm a tea granny. So steeped tea is sort of like Avon or Tupperware, right? That's that you sell to your friends and, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
My dad lectured me forever, saying it's a horrible scheme, it's witchcraft, it's this, you can't get, this is just stupid, it's crazy, you shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
This is just a direct marketing thing. There's no way of comprehending what I do. For his brain, like if he's going to freak out over steeped tea, there's going to be, Dad, I'm using it for a discount on my own personal tea.
Okay. You've likely read for hundreds of people now. When you look back, how was your own relationship with the tarot evolved?
Well, it's interesting because it started out for personal confirmation, and then I had joined a yoga studio to learn some yoga, and they found out I did tarot, and they started getting me to do cards for everybody. And then they're like, "Well, we're having an open house. You have to be here and read for everybody." And I was like, "Geez." But that sort of was the push down the path to do it professionally. And then my relationship with the cards over the years has certainly evolved. I started with, again, it was the angelic realm that really pulled me in, and I started with a Marseille's deck, which is a really weird spot to start, and I don't recommend it to anybody. But I went there because of the angels, because they have angel cards in that deck, and they have the fates in that deck, and I was like really drawn to it. I thought this is really cool. and I liked it, but it was very complicated, and there just wasn't much help on there for the more size. And this was actually really before the internet was coming much of anything too, so it's not like now it is now. So I then went to Doreen Virtue, had her beautiful tarot deck that was an angel tarot.
Oh, okay.
And so that was right up my alley. So I used that deck forever. And then as I learned more and more, got into the proper Rider-Waite deck, went down that road and then started reading. Like I used to have like 5 different tarot decks out here that I would let the my client choose which deck, because whatever artwork spoke to them, because it changes the meaning of the, as you know, just changes the meaning of the deck.
Yeah.
And then I got to the point where I was a little, I don't want to say bored, because the Rider-Waite is amazing and there's just so much more to learn than I'll ever know. But I wanted something new. I wanted something different. And I found the Handil Tarot. Wow. And this is just recently too, but that deck blew me away. That is the coolest deck. It's a combination of Thoth and Rider-Waite Smith.
Oh, okay.
But he's done it he did his own version of it. And basically he uses the deck. He was a German soldier in World War II and fought in Russia.
Oh, okay.
And was a prisoner of war in Russia, and had no idea what was happening back home. And the German ruins were used, I guess, by the Nazis during World War II. And he uses this deck to reconcile some of the horrors of that time and trying to clear the energy to best he can, which is a really neat thing. He's an artist, so all his artwork is in the deck. And the images, like when you get into them, there's 2 companion books to go with this that you have to, like, the guidebook does nothing. You need the 2 companion books so you can dive into his artwork and you can dive into everything that's this deck is about. It's phenomenal. So that just thrilled me. Okay. But then when I got into that, I was like, this is really time for me to learn Thoth. So I am in my Thoth glory right now. I am having so much fun because there's so much to it. The Kabbalah, astrology, like all of that stuff. There's layers upon layers upon layers. I love it.
I do have the Thoth deck. I haven't really explored it, but I know some other people are used Thoth, and I'm okay. I'm all about images and stuff like that, and they're not like your typical images on those cards. So
no, they're Lady Frida Harris. There's geometry. There's a lot of stuff that I love about her images, and they pull you in. But it is like a whole system to learn. Like it's not just. There's just so much to it, and it's so much. I'm having a ball with it.
Right.
But it's one of those decks that I avoided for years too. Like I didn't want it. I didn't want to learn it. It wasn't even a deck that I went to when I decided I wanted something different from Rider-Waite Smith. I didn't go Thoth. I went with the Handil Tarot, and then I was like, "Oh, this is Thoth time now." Yeah. And it's like the switch change. Nope. Now it's time for you to dive into this, and then it's amazing. Love it. So glad I did.
So Doreen Virtue. So apparently, there's a story that she did all these decks, and now she's converted to Christianity. And absolutely. So how do you feel about that? Like she's like totally dismissing what she's done and going. How do you feel about that?
I feel she's a very clever businesswoman. I actually took a course from her son, like just a recorded course or whatever. So the whole family is very gifted, and I found it interesting because their children are still on this path.
Oh, okay.
I was shocked when I heard it, and I was like, wow, I was shocked, and she made me question, and she did this to a lot of people. She made me question what I was doing. Because especially my favorite book, and it's still my favorite book, one of my favorite books, is she has a book on guides and ascended masters, where she talks about who they are, what they do, and how to connect with them, and it's fabulous. And she said that's the book she wishes she could burn. It's the worst thing that she's ever written, and she went on about this being absolute horrid. And so I had to sort of come to terms, like, do I feel that? And no, I don't. But I remember I walked into a local store, and she had a few decks of Doreen's that I didn't have that I wanted to get before they were gone, and I was like, okay, and I said to the girl, now, and she said, oh, why are you, stocking up on Doreen decks? And I said, well, now that she's I told her what happened, and she was crying because it just Doreen really because so many people had faith in what she was doing, and she taught so many people everything to denounce it. It really tore apart a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I sort of looked at the way she did it. She made her business partner, she just took her name off all her decks so that her business partner, Rodley Valentine, was still getting the royalties, and he was still going to be able to succeed. Yeah. And he's doing really good.
Well, he's doing amazing. He keeps on putting out decks and stuff like that. No, he's got awesome.
She did it ethically that way. She made sure that she honored him and didn't sell him out, up the creek type thing. So she did it. If she really truly just had a change of faith, then I really wish her well on her journey, and more power to her. And I'm glad she at least she honored her publishers. She just really asked her name to be removed from all of it. Yeah. It's a tough one, right?
Yeah. Have the cards changed in how they speak to you?
Yeah, to a degree, because I've changed to the Thoth deck. I'm incorporating more of esoteric knowledge into my readings right now. And I think that was really the big thing that had been holding me back from Thoth. I was still learning all the imagery, and I was learning everything through Rider Waite, which is an incredible system. And then with my jump down the rabbit hole into the esoteric and side of things, the Thoth just fits in so well with that kind of learning and everything. So I'm having a ball sort of incorporating that kind of meaning into my cards.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The aces, are the accumulation of all the positives in the suit was what I was always read. But when you read it through the Thoth eyes and with that going on, they haven't yet, the aces are not yet in reality, so they haven't yet formed.
Oh,
so it's right, which is a really neat, it adds a different depth to it. It adds, and again, it's, in the little book, it doesn't say anything much more. It's that deep dive that you do with going into the Thoth deck. And it's phenomenal the way it all unfolds that way, and it changes the way you read the cards. It really does. Like the numerology in it changes things immensely. So it's fun, it's fascinating, and I'm still learning.
Yeah, definitely we're going to have you back, and you're going to have to teach me about Thoth because,
It is so cool. It is so much fun.
Yeah. So on the show, we talked about how the quality of a question shapes the quality of the reading. From your experience, what is the difference between an empowering question and a disempowering one?
Well, yes and no questions my pendulum does tend to handle, but there's not for the cards. The tarot likes to tell a story. And I find the more, you can ask about your finances, and the cards will definitely give you a story. But if you ask the cards how to improve your finances, you're going to get really good advice.
Right.
So it's generally better for the person getting the reading to, how can I do this? What do I need to add? What should I remove? What should I avoid? There's those kind of questions where you're going to give you a much better reading.
Yeah. I had somebody come in one of the psychic fairs, and she was like, am I going to win the $1 million lottery? And going, well, no, that's not how it works and stuff like that. And so I did a reading for her, and she's like, so am I still going to win $1 million? And I was like, no, you don't. It's
not like that. The tarot wants to tell a story. It is about storytelling.
So a lot of people come with a misconception that, hey, it's yes and no, but yeah, it adds a lot of depth, and I think people kind of sometimes they get disappointed because they're going, well, I wanted an answer, but no, I'm sorry, but we're gonna dive in a little bit to what. your question is about.
You'll get a lot more information doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, if people insist on yes and no, my little pendulum will do their best to do that. But they're not going to they're going to miss out on the context that the tarot is going to give them.
Yeah.
The tarot is going to give them pitfalls. The tarot is going to give them to stay away from doing it this way and focus on this direction. This is to what, you get so much more than just, it looks good.
Yeah. It's, it doesn't give enough information, but for the lottery woman there, I have regular playing cards, so
cool.
And so normally I just pull 3 cards, so, and if it's all red, it's a definite yes.
Very cool.
But if it's like 2 reds or 2 blacks, is if yes or no, but all blacks are no. But
now, is that a system that you developed, or is that something that you've learned from somebody?
Learn from somebody.
I'm fascinated by that, because I had somebody come in and tell me, oh my goodness, I just pulled these 3 playing cards and I'm terrified. And I was like, what? Why? I don't understand, because numerically and what I know about numerology, everything seemed fine. And she's like, no, this is what my grandmother taught me. And I was really? This is interesting. So there's some more knowledge out there that I'm like needing to know.
So it's called cartomancy, and
okay.
It's sort of similar to the numbering system in tarot, like pentacles is the clubs, and hearts is cups, and diamonds is pentacles, and aces are swords and stuff like that. It's kind of appropriate.
Right.
Sharp, at the top. I kind of cheat, so knowing about the tarot and the number scheme and stuff like that, and where they are in that cycle, then I kind of interpret it on the tarot stuff. So, but there's slightly different meanings, but you'd have to memorize everything.
Yeah, I know. There's so many rabbit holes you can go down when you start learning tarot. It's endless. You got to pick and choose.
I don't know. I heard somewhere, like, the amount of combinations of cards and stuff like that is like in the millions. Like possibilities and stuff like that. It's incredible how vast it is.
Oh, and that's why it always like blows my mind when the same card comes out, no matter where I put it in the deck and how long I shuffle, and it pops out again. How does that happen?
It's a meaning too.
Yeah.
And, I've even had like congruent readings, and I go, I didn't shuffle, but the same cards came up from the previous reading, but it was in a different place, and
different context,
and it totally resonated for the next person. You gotta trust. Yeah, you gotta trust us. Onto the vision of Realm of Alchemy. You built a beautiful practice in the Niagara region, and your offerings keep expanding. What's next for you? Any new modalities, classes, or community projects you're excited to bring forth?
So I am being pulled right now to do more teaching and healing, especially like energy removal work, because that is something I do, and it really does help people a lot. So that is being pulled. I am also channeling a modality right now that is just sort of in the process and in the works, and it's going to be maybe not one for everybody, but it is going to be a modality for energy workers, because they're using all of my guides, which is very unusual for me to be sharing all my people that I work with and everything, but they all want to be part of this modality, and this is going to be kind of powerful, a really different way of healing. Melchizedek is leading the way in this, with Merlin, who's another guide of mine. The two of them, not necessarily the most common ones, but certainly they've been with me for a very, very long time. So I'm excited for that. That's going to be interesting.
Sign me up.
Absolutely. That one's going to be fun.
For anyone listening who's curious but hesitant, maybe they've always wanted a reading but feared what may come up, what would you say to help them take that first step with confidence?
I would certainly let them know that I am here to help guide you on your journey and to help you navigate life's challenges. So if there is something that comes up that does look like it's going to be a little bit difficult, I'm here to help you get through it with as much grace and much success as possible.
Oh.
So yeah, so there's really nothing to fear because it's life is going to throw this stuff at us anyway. So it's just giving you a heads up on how best to be prepared for it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, when tarot readings and stuff like that, it's kind of a little bit controlled, but that same message is going to come from anywhere else other than tarot, the universe, God, or whatever
yeah,
you look up to or whatever is trying to send you a message, and
yeah.
you need to listen. So,
It's a heads up, and it's not, yeah. So it's just it's nice to be able to either know what's coming so that when it comes you're not in shock,
yeah,
or be able to step aside from it and navigate around it,
yeah,
or lessen it to a degree. And it's all possible. I mean,
Yeah.
we are in control of our destiny. Our words and our thoughts create our world around us.
yeah.
So sometimes we've gone down too far and we can't change things. It doesn't happen very often. I did this to myself though when I was a kid. I always thought it was going to be so super cool to have a broken arm. I thought it'd be so neat to get everybody to sign your cast. I thought it'd be so much fun. I thought it'd be so cool. I know, and this is when I was really young. It wasn't like, and I didn't give it a lot of thought, but it was just like every time a kid got a cast, I was envious, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So it
jealous,
wasn't
yeah,
like
yeah.
I was trying to, I was just like, oh, that sounds so cool. Look at that. I'd let that thought go for a long time, but all of a sudden one day I woke up and said, oh, I don't want to break my arm ever. I don't want that to happen. And I heard, sorry, too late. And that day broke my arm.
Oh.
Like, it was like, I hadn't negated it. I had left it in my energy field for so long that it finally manifested itself. And I was like,
Hey, you were asking
Yeah.
for it, and the universe
Yeah.
provided to you.
it was years later, but it was like, I know I did as a kid. I thought it was just so cool. And then I think I was like 12 years old when I broke my arm, but it was like, I remember that day waking up, no, I don't want to break my arm. No. And
Yeah.
they're like, now here you go. Look, you asked for this. This is happening. We can't change this.
Yeah.
It happens a few times where you've just gone too far with the negative and it's going to happen, but it's just, how to deal
all
with
the
it.
time,
right?
all the time, all the time. That's why I was like, gotta think positive.
Oh, you do.
Yeah. If you could leave our listeners with one affirmation or truth that carried you through the ups and downs of this path, what would it be?
That we are all connected, that we are all love, and it's never not a part of us, and we are never not apart from everybody else. So it's just that there's a sense of belonging always and a sense of love always there for you to reach.
No, okay.
Yeah. And I mean, sometimes it's not always people. I mean, there's pets, but there's also just through meditation and your guides in the universe. Like, if I am feeling really alone, just going in and connecting with my guides, it's just such a peaceful feeling of love. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, more people should get into that and meditate and get more connected.
Yeah.
And go hug a tree.
Go hug a tree, yes.
Yeah, be in nature, ground yourself. Kind of thing.
Yeah, get a pet, to have some fun. Like, it's just there's always good.
Yeah.
There's always good everywhere. Sometimes it's harder to find than others, but if you look really hard, you'll find something. Even if you can't find something to be thankful for. I manifested the impossible in my life, and it's because when times were really dark, I found something to be grateful for. Living in the slums of Hamilton at one point in my life, I was grateful for the bright, spacious windows. I was grateful for the security that I had, even though I didn't have a lock on my back door. it was like, you know what I mean? I was grateful for the things that didn't match up, but that I did have. I was grateful for running water. I was grateful for like crazy little things, electricity, whatever I could find. I was grateful for it. And the universe turned around and put me in the most beautiful apartment I could possibly have found, because it recognized the imbalance.
Right.
So there's always, when you find the gratitude, when you find the little glimmers of hope and happiness, then things will change.
Yeah.
The balance will restore, and things will get better for sure.
Awesome. Another reader, she kind of told me, hey, to be grateful, you like when you're at a grocery store, you're paying with your credit card or debit card or whatever, be thankful that you actually can afford to actually pay for your groceries. Absolutely. Or paying a bill and stuff like that. Just keep on being grateful, and the universe is going, oh, you like all these things, okay, I'm going to send you more. And more
Right?
when people get, things come more abundant and stuff like that. So that's a good analogy that
Yeah, absolutely.
I've heard. So
Be grateful for the dime that you find on the sidewalk.
yeah, dimes. What's a dime anymore?
I know, right? Nothing but just, multiply that.
Yeah,
Make it a 10 next time.
yeah, exactly. So, Andy, we're going to be shifting gears a little bit. This is our lightning round. Quick, intuitive based answers. Whatever pops up first is perfect. Sun, moon, rising.
Aries, Sun, Aquarius, Moon, and Sagittarius.
Oh, okay.
Which is really weird that I'm all fire. I've got a very fiery, everything in my zodiac, there's a lot of fire and there's a lot of cardinal signs. And I have no idea where that fire has gone.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not fiery.
I find you subdued, kind of calm, and yeah,
So
I didn't know what your signs were until now, and I'm going,
they don't match, but that's
they
okay.
don't mind.
No, but yeah, it's weird.
It's weird. Favorite card in the deck right now and why?
That's funny because I know normally I used to always go with like the High Priestess or the Hierophant because they're just the coolest. But then I pulled from my Thoth deck. I asked them what card most represented me, and it was weird because I got the Ace of Coins.
Oh.
And I thought, well, isn't that interesting? And I sort of thought about it. And with the aces being pure potential, it is pure potential about manifesting things into reality. And that is something that I actually have to be very careful of because I do it very easily. So my thoughts have to be very good. I can't think anything negative because I can pull that quickly. So the Ace of Coins is very much who I am and what I do and like the manifesting skills of bringing things in and just at that point of potential. So I was like, it was kind of neat. So yeah, that's gonna be my Ace of Coins is gonna be my answer.
Ace of Coins.
Yeah,
that's doing it for you. Okay.
Yeah.
What card that still challenges you to this day?
So I don't have. Well, I guess I don't know because they all mean something different to me, and I do sort of embrace all of them. Like a good tower card is always like
we all love our tower moments.
I have so many tower moments that I've learned to sort of love them. It's sort of like, okay, so chaos is coming, but I've got this, and it's just okay. How are we going to get through the tower moment? So they don't really fear me. The devil card, I find I often read it as liberating, and rising above, because the devil. I had a beautiful deck early on where Archangel Samuel was represented by the devil. And Archangel Samuel is the severity of God. So yeah, he's a challenger. He's going to put obstacles in your path. He's going to test you. But if you ask him for help, he will lift you to the highest levels possible. He will show you why this is a test and why you have to succeed. He will stop you from repeating cycles. But you have to do the work and rise above, right?
Yeah.
So when I see him, I tend to really love that card. I tend to because no matter what deck I'm reading, that's who I go to, and so I always think liberation, lifting yourself up. But I always have to remember that there is also the cautionary tale of being stuck in his tests and not moving through them.
Oh, okay.
So because it is the point is to go beyond, and not get stuck in excess and lust is a good word. Like to be able to move through it. So lust is going to inspire you into whatever it is. There's something that you absolutely love doing. It's going to inspire you, but if you get stuck in that base level, you're going nowhere. You have to level up. So that he's a bit challenging to read because it's all over the place. And same with the lovers because there's so many, there's opposite meanings. There's so many different ways to read that card. So they're probably my two when they come up in a reading that I rely on the context of the other cards the most.
I love your interpretation of the devil. That's liberating.
I know,
because
right?
it's like so much negative connotation. Like I do the light seer, so it's like that manipulative. That manipulative look or whatever.
And, yes, and there is that too, and that's for me where I've got to remember because I'd always go to the angelic realm. And to Samael, who is known for being the devil. Some in religion they'll paint him as that, but I've experienced him differently, and he has been a guide and a helper. which is interesting. And like, I did go to a mentor when he first approached me, and I do feel with him, because when he first approached me, there's a spelling of his name, and he kept on spelling his name to me over and over again. So I think it's very important to spell his name with only one M, because I think two M's might be somebody else and somebody not of. Well, he's not of the light, he's of the void. He is different from the other angelic realm members, which is why he tests God as opposed to being a part of God. That allows him that option. But he is, as my mentor said to me, how are your messages? I said, they're all love and light. Do they make sense? Yes. What do you get from him? I said, he's very strict. He would only give me one word. He'd say the, and he'd say, write it down. I'm like, okay, you can give me a couple. He goes, no, I know you. You'll go off on tangents. He says, like, no, you were getting one word. Write this down. It's important. And so he was a lesson teacher. Very much a schoolmaster, but not. I'm sure there's another side, but maybe that's the double M1 that you don't want to deal with.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but because he was used on that deck, that's where I go.
Oh, okay. Interesting. The perfect interpretation of that. Shuffle or cut the deck?
Shuffle.
Shuffle. One song that instantly raises your vibration.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I was just listening on YouTube. There's some singers, just the songs that they sing, like, I mean, they evoke emotions. But the one song that's stupid that comes on the radio all the time, if I'm in the car and Sweet Caroline comes on, I'm gonna laugh the whole time. Like, it just brings a smile to my face. Dancing, it's just a silly song, and so that raises your vibrations up like crazy. And it's just a silly little fun song.
No, it's an awesome song.
I know, and it makes me giggle every time I hear it.
And now that baseball is over, I think if you're in Boston at one of the Red Sox games,
is that what they do?
They sing Sweet Caroline.
Right, well, that makes sense, but it's just silly. It's fun. It's uplifting.
Yeah. No, I love Neil Diamond. So
right?
It's like
but that song, it just makes me giggle.
A book, a teacher, or experience that changed your practice forever.
I've had a few. A book would be The Kabbalion. That's for a lot of people, I'm sure, that are into the occult versions of life. That book is phenomenal. The Tao of Pooh, though, really, really did it for me, too. The Tao of Pooh. A person, Edward Courtney, he's the one that talked to me about Archangel Samael. He is a bit of a guru in England. I actually met him through Merlin's. I was looking for a Merlin deck, and it's another weird guide that he and I had in common. So, but he's the one that taught me quantum metaphysics.
Oh, okay.
And he also taught a class with an apprenticeship to Saint Germain. He's taught me an awful lot along the way, but there's been a few. Josephine McCarthy too. Everything that she writes, she's next level. She's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she has a book called The Hierophant, and it's phenomenal. It explains the purpose of the Hierophant, like in the Golden Dawn, if you were to how to build from the abyss up, structure a building, a group. Oh, and it's cool. She's amazing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to put that in the show notes, so in case somebody's interested in. Hopefully it's on Amazon or whatever.
She is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. A crystal you cannot live without.
Well, Danbarite is without a doubt my crystal, and that's a really weird one. That crystal has angelic energy. It is just the closest thing that that frequency that I've held, that I can feel, is that crystal. It is just, it's so gentle, so peaceful, so just divine love. It is my favorite.
Oh, okay.
It's a rare one, but that's mine.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Sorry. Tea, coffee, or cacao during readings?
Tea, without a doubt.
If you could pull one card for the collective today, what energy do you hope it would show? And we're going to pull a card anyway.
Okay, cool. I would say Ace of Cups is a beautiful card. All that potential for happiness and joy and bliss and love. That'd be awesome for the collective.
Okay, perfect. And that brings the end of the lightning round. And speaking of a collective pull, what would you like to pick a card for all of us?
Sure, I'm just going to clear my deck.
She's using her pendulum because we're audio only here.
That's right. And let's see.
So with the pendulum, you're just kind of like clearing the
clearing the energies. Oh my goodness, the star. So have faith, have hope, make your wish upon the star. Trust that everything is going to work out. Beautiful card.
Beautiful. Right.
Yeah. So this is my chambered pendulum. So I got my frankincense is blocking all my other crystals in here, but I got frankincense in here. I've got a Herkimer diamond in here. I've got amethyst, and I have black tourmaline.
Okay.
And I think there might be a rose quartz in there too, just to gentle it all out. But this pendulum is very good at clearing energy, protecting, and doing all sorts of it just keeps the space clear. Yeah. I use the selenite too on all my decks to just keep everything pure.
And just by the way, her pendulum looks like a bullet.
Yes, absolutely. I love it, and it's really heavy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's nice.
Where'd you get the bullet? Yeah.
Amazon.
Oh, Amazon? Okay. Yeah. And you can put whatever different crystal.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like herbs, and so if you're doing something that you wanted to speed up the energy, you could throw in cinnamon. You could if you're doing if you wanted protection, you can put more sage in. I've got frankincense because it's an amazing.
Yeah.
It's everything. You can't go wrong when you. And I've got a Herkimer diamond in there, which is going to up the effects of the frankincense.
Okay. Yeah. Andie, thank you for sharing your world and your wisdom with us today. I think what you've reminded everyone listening is that tarot isn't just about seeing, it's about feeling. It's about listening to the quiet frequencies beneath the question, the ones that our rational mind can't always translate and our intuition understands completely. Whether it's through the cards, sound, or energy, what you do at Realm of Alchemy shows that healing isn't one thing. It's a conversation between all of them. For anyone who would like to connect with Andie, you can find her at
Realm of Alchemy
.ca or visit her booth at the Niagara Flea Market. And is there any other social media handles, any way people can get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can email me at realmofalchemy at gmail.com as well.
Okay, perfect. And that's your Instagram handle and your Facebook handle also?
Yeah, Realm of Alchemy, Andie's Realm of Alchemy is my Facebook, and Instagram is andies.tarot.readings.reiki.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much again, Andie. It was a pleasure. I had fun here. Hopefully there was not a lot of background noise that was happening, but it's a kind of a vibrant market. So for anybody who is in the St. Catharines or is heading down to Niagara Falls, stop into St. Catharines and visit the Niagara Flea Market. They're open on Sundays, from 10 to 4?
9 to 4.
Oh, 9 to 4. 9 to 4. All right. For all of you tuning in, may this conversation invite you to listen a little bit more closely to the alchemy happening inside your own life. I'm George Dus, and this has been the Tarot Talk Show podcast. Until next time, keep your heart open, keep your deck closed, and your curiosity alive.